guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I have been flying ever since I was a little girl. When I was little, flying used to be so much fun for me. I loved it. I loved airplanes so much. But recently, I get super anxious when I'm in the air and I just get so nervous. So I've accumulated some tips to maybe help you guys if you also get anxious. I think it's just human nature because we are supposed to be on the floor, that whenever we're in the air it's just super scary. So hopefully these tips can help you out. Like this video if you like it and please subscribe. I am just gonna get into it. So tip number 1 is to remember that airplanes are way safer than cars. There are thousands of car accidents a day, but there's only a handful of plane accidents in the whole year, so the odds are on your side. It's definitely nerve-wracking, but you have to just remember that you are in a car every single day and being in an airplane is much safer. Airlines are usually really good about training their staff to be prepared if something happens, and they know what to do if anything goes wrong. There is a big possibility that you will survive if something does go wrong. So just keep a clear mindset. Remember that they're safer than cars. And the more expensive the airline, usually the better the safety training. So remember that as well. Tip number 2, and this is a really helpful one, is to keep your feet up. This is something that I recently realized. Whenever your feet are touching the airplane ground, you feel every little nick and movement, and it's just really scary if you have anxiety. You feel the plane shaking, and obviously it's normal. I mean, it's a machine. It's gonna have some shaking and some movement, so it's completely normal. Nothing is wrong with feeling shaking, but I have found it just a lot nicer on your mind whenever you're not feeling that shaking. So now I like to put my feet up, usually on my bag, or if they have the little feet rest things, that's super awesome. But yeah, I definitely try to keep my feet up. And when there's super bad turbulence especially, I will hold up my feet. And that leads me into my 3rd tip, which is to remember that clouds equal turbulence. So turbulence is usually the worst part of flying because obviously it's shaking, it's scary, you're in the air, you don't know if you're going down or if you guys are okay. Usually whenever there's turbulence and I hear the pilot talking, I always think he's gonna be we've got some problems. But also a note on that, even if something is going wrong, the pilot has been trained to not make everybody freak out. So never think that the pilot's gonna come on and be we're going down. So know that. Anytime you feel turbulence, try to look out of a window and see if you're going through a cloud, because clouds usually equal turbulence. And when they're fluffier and bigger clouds, those are usually worse. So when you see the airplane going into a big patch of clouds, you usually know that there's going to be a lot of shaky turbulence. This really eases my mind because whenever there's turbulence and I look out the window and see that we're just in clouds, I know that it's normal. If I feel horrible turbulence and look outside and there's no clouds, that kind of freaks me out a little bit. But it's completely normal and it makes sense because clouds are heavier than the air, so whenever an airplane goes into it, there's a little bit of fluctuation. Tip number 4 is to have familiar things, and this is kind of a personality thing. Some people might not find this helpful, but if you're like me and you're just a homebody and you're comfortable with certain things, having shows, music, podcasts, blankets, pillows, stuffed animals, things that are easy to have but very familiar really comforts me. So for me, an airplane wouldn't be the place to try out a new show, a new movie maybe, but I'd rather watch Friends or The Office or something I've seen a million times just to make me feel comfortable and familiar. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I like to stick to albums that I love or podcasts that I love. And yeah, scents and things that just make you feel at home maybe can help you ease your anxiety and nerves a little bit on a plane. Tip number 5 is to take sleeping pills with you. This is optional, this isn't for everybody, but I found it really nice to have sleeping pills, especially when it's an overnight flight and you really just can't go to sleep. Taking a couple sleeping pills and going to sleep really can help you rejuvenate and feel good the next day. Also, it's a great way to just knock out half of the flight, is to just be asleep through it if you're really that nervous and anxious. And my last tip, tip number 6, is to think beyond the flight. So anytime you're on an airplane, you're either going somewhere or you're going home. So my tip to you is to focus on that and just think positive things and attract positivity to yourself. Focus on wherever you're going, whether it's for vacation or for work, or if you're going home, just focus on how excited you are to go there, how excited you are to do whatever you're gonna do, and that will make it so much easier to get through the flight. Even though the flight might be scary and bumpy and shaky, all you have to do is just remember why you're on that flight and how exciting it is going to be when you finally land, and you will land and you will get there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that this helped you out. Please let me know if it did. Like this, subscribe to me. I make videos like this all the time. And I'm also going to Iran soon. And I did that last year, and those are my most popular videos. But I'm going back this time and I have a real camera, so please subscribe because I'm just going to make a ton of amazing videos that I know that you will love. So yeah, that's it. Thank you again. Goodbye.